It is time to expand minds through movies, TV, sports, and flicks. It is time to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. It is time for the Captain Talks Flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talks Flicks podcast. I'm your host, the Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. I welcome the podcast where me, the Captain, talks about movies, TV, sports, flicks, anything you can see on a two-bird screen. I like to get in here and give my unique perspective, because after 46 years of being on planet Earth, I developed a unique perspective about these movies, TV, sports, and flicks, and I like to get in and tell you about it, because just maybe you care, and according to the stats, it looks like you do care. I want to give a big shout out to Bolivia. Got some plays over in Bolivia this past week. Gracias, gratitude, todo reba. In Bolivia, I heard about your Parque Nacional Toro. Yeah, the dinosaur park over there. I heard it is awesome. Dinosaur skulls, footprints, very cool. One of these days, I'm going to fly over to Bolivia and see the Parque Nacional Toro. It seems very cool. Thanks for listening. Gracias, gratitude. And just FYI, back day with School Bay Radio DJ. But I never got a job. I think I never got a job because I just didn't have the desire. If I would have had the desire to become a radio DJ, I probably would have became one. But I didn't. And it allowed me to become the greatest podcaster in the Matrix. Some to debate might be true, might not be true. But I said it on the internet, so it's gotta be true, right? Because everything on the internet is facts, not facts, true, false, propaganda, fake news, the Matrix, streets, roads, lights, space, grass, dirt, cement. I don't know. I didn't make the internet. Ask the people that made the internet. So when you're online, just be aware, just watch out. Anyways, I could ramble all day, but I won't. Let's get right into the podcast. But first, a word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes I rap. And on January 30th, 2023, I rapped again. I dropped the album called The Soft Power of Minecraft. It is a blend of my unique rhyme style over synthy, ambient, spacey sounding beats. And I guarantee you have never heard an album like this in your life. When you hear this, you'll be like, bro, I've never heard nothing like this. So if you want to hear something new and interesting and spacey and crazy and just some stuff you've never heard, I'll put a link below to my album called The Soft Power of Minecraft, available over at Bandcamp. So check it out. Now, let's get on with the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back again. Woo, and since the last time I saw you, bro, the monkey mind been coming at me. I've been saying that a lot this last month. And I'm gonna be real with you guys. There's been a lot on my plate. Lots on my plate, bro. Tons on my plate. So much on my plate that I'm like, bro, I think I want to quit. I had a moment in time this month where I kind of thought like, I should just stop everything. Just stop what I'm doing because it's too much. I can't take it. The captain can't take it. What's going on? I just can't take it. I gotta stop. No mas, tap out for a moment of time. A small moment of time. Because after I thought those ridiculous thoughts, I came back to my senses like, bro, Captain Che Cortez, you're gonna quit? You're gonna give up? You're gonna stop? You're gonna alto? What are you doing, bro? What's wrong with you? Why would you dare think those things? You are not thinking correctly. Get back on your task, get back on your horse, and push forward. I was like, don't you remember who you are? It was like, yeah, I do remember who I am. I'm the captain. I'm the greatest podcaster in the Matrix. And we can't stop. And we won't quit. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're like me. And whatever you're doing out there in life, whatever you're going for, whatever you're trying to achieve, do not stop. Do not quit. The world wants you to stop. The world wants you to quit. They want you to fail. But guess what? The captain does not want you to fail or quit. Keep going. Keep pursuing excellence. Keep doing what you're doing. Because at the Captain Talk Flicks podcast, and all you guys that listen, you know what? We don't stop. We don't quit. We keep pushing forward, because that's what we gotta do. There's only one thing promised in life, and that is death. You will die, I will die. So between now and death, let's make the most of this life. Let's manifest magnificence, and let's manifest greatness. Let's go, let's get it, let's not stop. We're only in February, we're only in the second month. Let's make this year the greatest year of our lives. Maybe not, I don't know. Was that too much? So anyways, yeah, I had those thoughts, but I bounced back. And now it is time to podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, this week, I saw something very interesting. And let me just start with this. Have you ever watched professional wrestling? You might have. You might not have. But a lot of people have. And me, the Captain Che Cortez, has seen tons of wrestling. I've watched wrestling since back in the 80s. I've seen WWF. I've seen WCW. I've seen NWA. I've seen the Monday Night Wars. I've seen ECW. I've seen Impact. I've seen World Class Wrestling. I've seen AWA. I've seen AEW. I've seen Lucha Libre. I've seen New Japan. I've seen absolute tons and tons of wrestling over my 46 years of being on planet Earth. Tons. And you might have too. But you know what? This week, I saw some wrestling I never saw before. Unbelievable that someone that's seen so much wrestling in my 46 years on planet Earth has never seen this. And this week, I just became aware of this, and I watched a little bit, and I was like, very impressed. You're like, Captain, what could you have seen that I've not seen? If you've not seen, if you've seen all those wrestlings you just named, you've really seen something more than those you just listed? Oh, one additional thing, I've seen tons of independent wrestling as well. I've seen tons and tons of wrestling over many years, but I hadn't seen this. You're thinking like, Captain, what are you talking about? What could you have seen that wasn't one of those great wrestling organizations that was so great? Ladies and gentlemen, I was over in Bolivia virtually, and when I was visiting Bolivia virtually, I stumbled across some of the most magnificent wrestling I've seen in my entire life. I saw what they call Cholitas wrestling. Like, Captain, what is Cholitas wrestling? I don't even know what that is. What is that? Ladies and gentlemen, it is some indigenous ladies of Bolivia wrestling, right? They're wrestling in dresses, or their traditional dresses. And let me tell you this, it is some of the greatest wrestling I've ever seen in my life. I was smiling the whole time. Now, when you watch professional wrestling, most of the wrestlers, at least in the United States of America that I've seen, most of the stuff I watch, the wrestlers have a certain look, a certain style, a certain look, just a certain aesthetic. They look a certain way. And you've watched tons of wrestling, they all kind of look similar. No matter what organization you watch, all the ones I just listed, they all have a certain look. But this Cholitas wrestling, they don't look like nobody you've ever seen. They have a different look. And that look is magnificent. And to see these indigenous ladies from Bolivia wrestler with their very cool look and their very cool garments was so cool to behold. It was some of the most awesome wrestling I've ever watched in my life. It was so dope, bro. I'm telling you, as a wrestling fan from way, way back, just when you thought you'd seen it all and everything there is to be seen in wrestling, then you see this Cholitas wrestling, wow. I would love to go to Bolivia, sit ringside at a Cholitas wrestling match, and just be in the atmosphere. Now, when I told you earlier that I've seen all the wrestling, I also seen the wrestling live. It wasn't just on the TV screens. I've seen tons of live wrestling going way back in the day. Because they would come to my town all the time. And periodically over the years, the Captain would go see live wrestling. But you know what? I've never seen anything like Cholitas wrestling live ever or on screen until this week. Yeah. It was so magnificent. So if you want to see some wrestling that you might not have seen before, and you are a wrestling fan, and you're looking for a new thing to check out, go to YouTube, look up Cholitas Wrestling, and you will see some of the greatest wrestling you've ever seen in your life. There is no way you go watch this and not be smiling when you see it. And I'm not saying smiling like laughing at it. I'm talking smiling and enjoying it. It was so enjoyable. I loved it. I felt so good. The dopamine, the endorphins are flowing. It was beautiful. Lovely. So awesome. These ladies are doing good work. Beautiful over in Bolivia. It just makes me want to go to Bolivia. I talked about the dinosaur park in the promo. Talk about this Cholitas wrestling. They got beautiful landscapes. I'm sure the cuisine is excellent as well. It just seems like a dope place to be. So one of these days, I'm gonna have to get on a plane and fly to Bolivia and see some Cholitas wrestling live in the flesh, in vivo. Is it live? Yeah, I think it is live. Yes, we're gonna do that. So anyways, that's all I want to talk about. It's some magnificent wrestling that you may have not seen before. Cholitas Wrestling. So anyways, I highly recommend you go check it out. And until next time, we'll see. Our destiny rules over us, even when we are not yet aware of it. It is the future that makes laws for our today. Friedrich Nietzsche. Until next time, it's Captain Peace.
The Captain Talks Flicks.